Take the strings of your heart and stretch them to the limit. This is Sidetracked.
Sidetrack, we're getting sidetracked. Yes, we're getting sidetracked. What were we talking about?
Yung podcast!
Wait, are we recording already?
Yeah, we were just about to start.
Should we start that again?
Again?
Nah, it's fine.
Side?
Track?
Where? Hi, I'm Bree.
I'm Kay.
I'm Lila.
So, we watched IDOLiSH7.
Yay.
So IDOLiSH7 is actually originally a game. I talked about this in a few episodes before. Um, it's a rhythm game, but it has a story. So it is an idol game turned into an anime. It's about these seven guys who it's their story from pre-debut until their debut in the idol industry. So it's their story in the idol industry. It's a very realistic story of the idol world. So if you haven't checked it out yet, do check it out. It's very 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 big in Japan, but it isn't as big worldwide. So it's relatively unknown worldwide. So I highly suggest you watch it if you haven't already. So for this episode, we'll be talking about the first season and Vibrato, which is kind of like an OVA thing of the series. So to start, I want to talk about the characters, like specific characters first, since season 1 is the introduction.
Yeah. Character focus.
Yes. So for I want to start with IDOLiSH7. So let's start by our number 1, Yori. Do you have any opinions with Yori as of the moment?
I like him. I have a feeling that I would like him further down the line. Even more.
I actually Yori and I are the same in terms
Personality.
of personality. Yeah. So medyo hindi ako medyo hindi ko siya masyadong pinapansin. Pero
for
Yori is
those
a really
who
nice guy.
for those who don't know, Brie doesn't like characters that are very similar to her.
Yeah. Sorry. But actually out of all the characters, Yori doesn't have as much he does have an arc.
Mm.
It goes in season 2, but
Mm.
he what you see is what you get with Yori. How about Yamato?
Ah.
This is a big
Lila, do
one.
you wanna start?
Yamato.
Yamato's the leader with
Oh,
glasses. Yes.
why is he a fucking drunkard?
Oh,
He
that's
drinks
your
all
notes.
day and all night. Why?
he's an old man at heart, actually.
Oh my gosh.
All sad.
OG.
But yeah, I like him so far. It's just I feel like the thing or like the event that was the most remarkable for me was when they were all fighting. So I feel like this opinion isn't just applicable to what's his name again? To
Yamato.
Yamato. It's also applicable to the rest of them. It's that they're not communicative at all.
Mhm.
They're all shit at
They're
communicating.
they're
They
young, so
have
like
and they have like ego battles every single time.
they're young men, of course. They
I
have an
know.
inflated ego.
And
I know.
they haven't they haven't been together that long as well.
Mm-mm.
Mm.
Yeah, I
You'd
get that.
yeah, you'd see their that's actually a really interesting point because you'll actually see how they develop their bonds like later on, especially since they all have secrets.
Mm-hmm.
As I've mentioned, every character will get their own arc, pero
Yeah,
it's not just straightforward na arc. It's
yeah, yeah,
very mixed sila.
yeah.
Medyo woven yung mga arcs nila. So, throughout those arcs, dun mo nakikita yung development ng bonds nila, which is really nice to see.
Yeah.
Whereas, it is funny kasi they do tend to fight a lot because of
Mm-hmm.
miscommunication,
Mm-hmm.
which you'll see in season 2 as well.
Oh my god. I feel like
It's not
it's
over?
never ending.
Yeah, it's not over.
Oh
Oh
It's
no.
no.
just the beginning.
Oh
Terry, do you
no.
have like stuff to say
Yes,
about
I
Yamato?
do. I
Mm.
do have stuff to say about Yamato. Feeling ko spoiler na to. Pero I have a theory about him, and
Mm.
I think it's in your face na, at
Mm.
least for me, that he has a lot of daddy issues, and his daddy is that famous actor.
I see.
So, ayun. Kaya naintindihan ko why he was very hesitant on acting.
Mm.
Because, of course, when you have a parent that you're not really in a good relationship with, you don't want to follow their footsteps. So, yeah. Yamato, daddy issues. That's my notes with him. Daddy issues.
Nice.
That's an interesting take, actually. Okay, how
I
about
never
Mitski?
thought about that actually. It never
Yeah.
hit me. I just knew that at some point it's gonna be revealed that he's like rich or something. He's some kind of chebol in Korea. Yeah, he's
Mm.
some kind of chebol. But that's it. That's all I have in my
Do you
brain.
think he do you think he's rich because he has that vacuum cleaner? He's the only one in the group that has a vacuum cleaner.
That's true. Right nung drunk sila, like his sino yung nanghiram? Basta may nanghiram and
Piku.
he's like, yeah, like, and then he was like, there's a fee for every hour you use it.
Yeah. He's
That's
the
how
only
he
one
gets
in
his
the
money.
That's how he's rich.
That's where his alcohol money comes from.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But you know what? I really love Yamato cuz he was technically appointed leader because he's the oldest.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
But you can see how he's very nonchalant in like being an idol and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But you can see that he's starting to get attached with the guys, that he's actually starting to act as a leader. There are times na makikita mo yung pagiging leader niya sa group, which is really nice to see. Cuz he's around our age, I think, like 23, 24.
Younger than me.
So it's nice to see.
We're
It's
all
like
Gen Z. It's fine.
moving on to Mitski. How about Mitski? What do you think about him? He's
I
orange
don't.
guy.
I don't really have much opinion about him, but he's very hardworking. That's what I can say. He's hardworking, and you can tell that out of all of them, he's the only one that's actually passionate about what he's doing.
Mm,
Yeah, I feel like I agree na parang, at least right now from what we know, siya lang talaga yung gustong maging idol for the sake of being an idol.
Mm.
mm.
He has no other ulterior motives.
That's actually true. He is the only one with
Mm.
no ulterior motive.
Yeah.
He just wants to be, which is
Just let the
really
boy
sad.
sing.
Which is really sad because he's the only one that wasn't actually like he doesn't pass auditions.
Mm.
Most of the other guys were scouted.
Mhm.
And the only reason why he even got into this company was because of Yori.
Yeah,
And that's the saddest part of it, which you'll see more in the future.
of course.
Yeah.
They're not done making us suffer.
I do kind of relate with Mitski in a
Yeah.
way, in a light way, not too much, because like I don't want to be an idol, but
Mm.
it's yung ano, yung you have a sibling that's just better than you in a lot of
Mm.
things, and so they're always like preferred over you, and like
Mm.
if it's not direct like that, you can kind of notice it with how everyone behaves,
Mm.
na parang people think your sibling is better. Because I remember, nung ano, super duper insecure pa ako. I mean, I'm still insecure, but not as much as I did when nung teenager ako. I remember nung magpo-prom yung kapatid ko, nag-effort talaga yung mom ko na kunan siya ng ano ng damit, tapos may office mate yung mom ko. I guess it's also by chance kasi nung by the time na nag-prom yung sibling ko, my mom was working with like a rich woman. And yung damit na pinahiram sa kapatid ko was designer. Like legit,
Mm.
like sinuot siya sa Paris Fashion Week, ganon.
Mm.
Tapos I
Couture.
remember, yeah, tapos I remember nung sinusuotan siya ng damit ng designer, the way the designer looked at my sibling was like model. Na parang it's
Mhm.
just clear na to everyone else my sibling is just prettier and like just nicer than me. Kasi if we look at beauty standards, my sibling fits it. Like they're tall,
Yeah.
they're
Mhm.
fair, very fair. They're
Mm.
skinny, and I'm like the opposite of it. I'm like a stubby tree stump. That's me. But like I mean, I have kind of grown into like appreciating myself and my looks now.
Mm.
But I do remember like feeling very insecure. Tas yung ano din na yung kapatid ko, para it feels like mas matalino siya sa akin, mas marunong siya sa akin. And
Mm.
then if I stop and think, I realized na yung kapatid ko, sa akin din naman lumalapit para pag nagpapatulong siya. So I'm like, what am I insecure about? Alam mo
Yeah.
yun? Yeah.
You know, that's actually kind of like Yuri and Mitsuki as well. Yuri
Yeah.
has a big brocon, but
Hmm.
hindi lang siya emphasized because he's like the cool guy, but he's
Yeah.
actually a big brocon. And you'll see in like in future episodes, like the other guys teasing Yuri about it.
Hmm.
As well.
I see. I'm excited to see that. But yeah, yun na yung pumasok sa isip ko when like I really thought about Mitsuki and Yori's
Mm,
relationship. It reminded me of that. Yung parang you're kind of scrambling for recognition.
mm,
Pero yung kapatid mo, it seems like they're
Getting it
getting it
effortlessly.
effortlessly. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
And they're
Na parang
younger as
yeah,
well.
and they're younger, and then it just I feel like it's like a punch in the gut. Na, and like a punch in the ego as well. Na I'm older,
Mm,
I'm supposed to be better, I'm supposed to be more experienced. I guess it's also like the eldest sibling complex. I
yeah.
guess because I'm the eldest, Mitsuki's the eldest. So yeah, parang there's like just a lot of like sibling insecurities in there na I can kind of relate to. And I
Mm,
feel like sa ating tatlo, ako yung pinaka makaka-relate kasi ako lang naman yung panganay.
yeah.
Yep.
Parang ako yung bunso eh. Ako lang yung panganay.
Ano
So,
lang ako,
yeah.
pangapanganay.
Parang ano lang, parang
Kunyari
forced
lang.
panganay, ganun.
Stand
Yeah.
Forced
in.
panganay. Not panganay on paper, but panganay in application. Ganun. But yeah.
Another thing that I want to point out with Mitski is that he really holds on to that stereotype, like the happy pill guys are always the least popular ones in the
That's
group,
so true.
right?
Yeah.
So
That's
it's
true.
just sad that well, happy pill din naman nila si Nagi, pero Mitsuki is just like a different one. He's like the best. He's the better one in variety shows and stuff. So he does have a talent for it, pero not a lot of people appreciate that talent. Ang nakaka-appreciate lang nun mostly is yung mga producers, yung mga hosts, yung mga people behind the scenes ng
Yeah.
variety shows. But like the fans themselves, most of the time they may not appreciate it as much. So nagiging least merong episode yun na sinabi ng president na Mitski is usually just like the second or the third favorite ng fans. So there's
Mm.
always like the other one na most nila, yung Oshi nila. Tapos Mitski's just like a second thought. Parang which is
Mhm.
really sad.
Yeah. Yeah.
The next member, I know you guys have a lot to say about him. It's Tamaki, our baby Tamaki.
Sino magsimula?
That's it. Let's move on. No.
Wow, that's very loaded.
um, he's I. I hope he grows up. That's it.
He does, he does.
Yeah, I'm glad. Basically, yung sa notes ko kasi, yung kay Tamaki yung nag-cover ng half ng page. I mean, I have a tiny notebook, but like, that's still half the page, right? So, basically, sinabi ko dito is, Tamaki needs to understand. I mean, I get that he's young. He's a minor. He's not even an adult. But he needs to understand that by taking care of his role in the idol group is his like number one key to finding his sister.
Mhm.
And with his selfishness, he's jeopardizing everyone else and jeopardizing his chances of getting more reach for the sake of meeting his sister or finding his sister. I think he needs to understand that. If iiwanan niya yung grupo niya, ano yung mag-aangat sa kanya? Ano yung, like, what what kind of foundation is he gonna have para meron siyang parang means to find his sister?
Mm,
Yeah.
So I feel like he needs to let go of his ego. Again, I get that he's young, he's a teenager, but he needs to let go of his ego kasi yung idol group niya yung pinaka makakatulong sa kanya para mahanap yung
Yeah.
kapatid niya.
I think he also tends to tunnel vision. That's why.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, it was evident even, right, nung nagpo-perform sila tapos merong, may sister na, ano yun, Onisan ba yun? Onisan! Gumanon.
Mhm.
I'm like, when Tamaki focused and participated properly in the performance, dun siya nakita ng kapatid niya. Ano yun?
Yeah.
Like, he needs to get his priorities straight. Like, there are steps to everything. He's not gonna be famous in just one snap of a finger.
Pinagalitan lang natin si Tamaki recently.
I'm going to defend Tamaki then. You
Okay.
know what? That's also the reason why I love Metso.
Mm-hmm.
When I first watched the anime, I was like, why are you debuting another subunit? Medyo ano pa ako dun na. Medyo parang in denial pa ako na hindi makaka-debut agad yung IDOLiSH7.
Mm-hmm.
Pero I actually understand why Metso works as well. Not one thing I like about Metso is that their voices fit together. I know it's like part of the audition. Obviously, they
Yeah.
look for seiyus that work together.
Yeah.
Pero they both have like opposite personalities from one another,
Yeah.
and it actually works out well kasi the Metso arc is not finished yet. You think bati na sila, hindi pa.
Lagi sila mag-aaway.
Madami pa silang gagawin. Mabubwisit pa kaya lalo. Pero it's actually really interesting because they both needed each other to grow. It's not just
Mm.
Tamaki. Sogo learned a lot from Tamaki as well. And Tamaki learned a lot from Sogo. And not just Sogo, Ryu as well. Ano yun eh, medyo may glimpse nun sa parang medyo ending na episode. Yung nag-away-away sila, tapos nagpunta sila sa Zero Arena.
Mhm.
Lahat sila. 'Di ba si Tamaki, he was talking to Ryu, and
Yeah.
Ryu was like advising him and stuff. And doon nag-start yung Ryu Onisan ni Ryu towards Tamaki. Tamaki, he is kind of he is kind of bratty right now, but he will grow. That's what I can say as of now. He will grow, but I understand what you guys are talking about with Tamaki.
And I
Medyo
mean,
annoying nga siya.
we only know the first season
Yeah.
right now. We have
Mm,
no idea what's gonna happen to him. So I'm glad that he's gonna grow. But yeah, our opinions are just based on what we know, and yeah.
Mm.
yeah. He is very childish.
Mm-mm.
And it's very evident as well. Ang funny pa nun kasi he's the same age as Yori, but like they're worlds apart. In terms of maturity.
Actually, yeah.
Right? You can see like the difference of different personalities of children. They could either be this mature as Yori or immature as Tamaki. Choose your
That's true.
fighter.
And I've seen it in my job.
Right?
Mhm.
Okay, speaking of Metso, there's Sogo. Sogo, my baby, my favorite. I'm going to start. I love the reason why I love Sogo so much is because he has a gap in his personality. That's like what I feel like that's a type of mine, yung gap sa personality. He's
Gap mo
supposed to
eh.
be this calm, yeah, gap mo eh. He's supposed to be this calm character, but he's actually really he has a temper. He has a bit of a temper.
Yeah.
He's scary and he
He's also a
likes spicy
fanboy.
food. And he fanboys. He's a big trigger fan. Okay, yeah. That's it. That's all I can say without spoiling anything. So if do you guys have any opinions towards Sogo?
I feel like Sogo has a really big ego.
Hmm.
I get it. He has something to prove. Kasi nga, he's connected to this big company and he's trying to prove something. But I do like that he's very responsible and he's following through with his plans.
Mm.
He just has a tendency to like, parang nagta-tunnel vision din siya, pero not as bad as Tamaki. Na, I'm going to get there and I don't care who I hurt. Parang ganun siya. In my eyes,
Mm.
that's how I see him. But yeah, he's very
Mm.
responsible.
How about you, Lila?
I have no strong opinions about him right now. I just find him funny whenever he fanboys about Trigger.
I still remember the Jesus artist.
All right.
But
He also fanboys towards him as well.
yeah, but I am looking forward in learning about his story though.
Ooh. It's
Yeah.
gonna be a long ride then.
Yeah, kasi I think it's really evident. Like I don't even have much theories about him. Like I don't
Yeah.
have actually I don't have any theories about him.
Yeah.
Pero it's really evident na mabigat yung
Mabigat
malaman
yung
yung ano
dinadala niya.
niya.
Mm.
Malaman yung history niya. So I am actually looking forward to that. Because like we've kind of been hinted at with like Riku, right? And Ten. So
Yeah.
there's that. And then like with Yamato?
Yeah.
Yeah. And with Yamato, he's it's also interesting. Pero I feel like mas interested ako kay ano kay
Sogo.
Sogo. Especially with how he's reacting nung na-reveal niya na connected nga siya dun sa big company na yun. Like, with how he reacted, I'm like, I feel like there's a lot here to unpack. And I want to see it. I mean,
Nice.
apart from Tamaki as well, yung kapatid niya. I mean, it's like a missing sibling. That's also very interesting for me, like how they're gonna meet, when they're gonna meet. Is it gonna be jeopardized? Is something gonna happen before they meet, or like
Mm.
by the time they meet? I don't know. Pero
Let's
Sogo,
find out.
yeah. Let's find out. Abangan bukas. But yes, yeah, Sogo is very interesting for me right now. But like, I have no thoughts about him for now. I'm just
Okay.
interested in his story.
Okay. Well, this is another Nagi.
I will
K.
start. I am going to appeal now to the
Mm.
audience. Please vote Nagi for Smug Bastard. I am going to be very sad if he doesn't win. Rokuya Nagi, Smug Bastard. Thank you.
The thing is, though, tayo rin naman yung boboto.
That's why I'm appealing now. What do you need? Do I need to bribe someone?
May reigning champion tayo, though. Nahirap kalabanin yung reigning champion natin eh.
It's fine. Nagi all the way.
How about you, Leela? Do you have anything to add with Nagi?
He's also very interesting to me.
Mm.
Mm.
Again, I don't know. I feel like I think I am just misremembering things. But I'm convinced it's not his real accent. There's something fishy about his accent. I'm really convinced. I know we already talked about this. I know you guys already corrected me, but I'm convinced may something. So, ano yan?
Actually, Nagi is one of the few characters in the anime that I can say is very multidimensional.
Mm.
It's obvious.
Yeah,
Dude,
he is very
yung
multidimensional.
mga internal monologues pa lang, I'm like, anong meron dito? Pare, paki-reveal naman, pre.
But do you have theories with Nagi? Like what
Yes.
his arc would be? Yeah, what do you?
I don't have like very specific theory about Nagi, but I do know that I will be very hurt because I have history with characters like Nagi and their backstory hurting or their arc hurting so much. Because when a character makes you laugh and you love them so much, they will hurt you. And that's
It's
Nagi for me.
It's actually one of my notes. Nagi tries his best to make everybody happy, but even though he's actually very serious, that's what I love about Nagi is that he loves all the members. He's the first. I think he is the first one in the group that just unconditionally loves his members and cares so much about them that he's doing everything he can to make them happy,
Mm,
to make sure that they're not hurt. He's very protective towards them as well.
mm.
I mean,
May
ano
may
din,
naisip ako. Sorry, may naisip
sige,
ako.
sige.
I feel like Nagi is royalty somehow.
Oh,
Like he
yeah.
has
I have a
royal blood.
feeling. Yeah. And I mean, yung kasabihin ko rin kanina is, I mean, I know we already talked about na Zero's story isn't really like the big story in this
Mm,
anime, right? Like he is there, he's like the common denominator, like everyone like admires Zero. But the fact that Nagi is the only person so far that we know of who has like the closest connection to Zero,
Mm,
Yeah.
makes me think that he is a significant character.
mm.
Mm.
Kasi he
Ayan,
has that.
nagkaroon ako ng bagong theory dun.
Kasi 'di ba yung writer, yung songwriter na
Yeah.
nag-aano for Zero, right? Like he's friends with that person.
Yeah.
He's the one who wrote the IDOLiSH7 songs. So, like I feel like yung detail na yun yung yung naghihint sa in my like tiny brain na he has a very significant role in the story because of that.
Mm,
Speaking of the songwriting friend, it's actually really nice, and I will talk more about the details in the anime in like future episodes probably, because I can't really say it right now. But like what I love about the anime specifically, because in the game you wouldn't really see any of these details because it's
mm,
just their pictures and then they're talking. But in the anime, what I really love about Troika is the studio that animated the anime. Troika really did a good job with like sprinkling in details. There's this one part where whenever they were talking about the songs that Idol 7 has, they always focus it on Nagi. They
mm,
always show Nagi, even if he's not speaking at all. You will see a frame of him. There was like on episode 11, they were showing Nagi when they were talking about the song, like what who wrote this song, blah blah blah, blah. And he was just like really quiet in the corner, and it's
mm,
those details like that. I can't really say much, it's so sad, but like you will see a lot of like the sprinkled details, and then when you go to like the future episode and then they reveal this certain thing, you'll be like, oh right, they did that in like past seasons. That's what happened to me like watching it.
mm,
Though I did watch it like the year it comes out. So medyo may times na medyo nakalimutan ko na yung mga details, pero it's really interesting to see, and it was very satisfying to like connect the dots whenever
mm,
that happens. So I'm going to say this now. They have a lot of like the sprinkled in details in terms of the arcs. If you watch carefully, like who's showing, like the framing, even like like how they created the scene, how they use their songs, like the lyrics and everything, all those small details, you can actually create theories in what will happen in like the future episodes, because you will see it there. It's very prevalent. As I've mentioned, season 1 is an introduction pa lang naman,
mm,
pero that introduction you can already see like a lot of stuff in it. So yun lang naman yung gusto ko i-bring up, kasi we were talking about Nagi and the songwriter, who is Haruki, by the way. His name's Haruki. Yeah. Our baby boy, Riku.
Oh.
Our smiley boy.
Our smiley boy. What do you think about Riku?
Uh, I'll be honest, I don't have much opinion about Riku. I
Mm.
feel like I'm watching the anime in the eyes of Riku.
Mm.
Oh,
That's how I'm watching the anime.
interesting.
So I don't have much opinion about him. I just feel like he's very nice. Even though tinatrato na siyang trash ng brother niya, he's just very nice.
He's too
He's
optimistic.
he's also a big brocon, by the
Mhm.
way.
Yeah.
Honest. How about
For
Lila?
me, I feel like, I mean, this is gonna sound bad, but I feel like I am more interested in how his relationship with Ten is gonna grow or is
Mm,
gonna develop. I feel like I'm more focusing on Ten, to be honest. Kasi feeling ko siya yung maraming hinanakit. Siya yung maraming
mm,
tinatago. And like with like between the both of them, siya yung, di ba, like Rico's like seeking answers and Ten isn't giving it. And like even until now he hasn't said shit. So so like so like
in-accept lang ni Riku.
yeah, I feel like we are talking about Rico, but like by extension, I feel like I'm paying more attention on Ten than
Yeah.
Mm,
Rico right now. Yeah.
I again I can't say much. The only things that I do want to point out regarding Riku is very spoiler heavy, so I can't really say much.
Mm.
But Yeah. Iku best boy.
I do.
That's all I
Yeah,
can say.
right now I think he's just nice for now, but like I'm not really seeing anything significant about him
Yeah.
other than the fact that he is an overly dramatic brother.
I do
That's
have a
it.
theory about Riku.
Mm.
And na-confirm mo to na there's a possibility. So, hindi ko sasabihin yung buong theory ko. But,
Oh.
uh, Riku and Ten's relationship has something to do with Zero. Yun yung theory
Ah.
ko. I don't know if it's
Mm.
true. Yun, nakalagay lang siya sa notes ko.
Ah, I see. So do you think that Rico and Ten has a bigger connection to Zero than Nagi?
No. I
Nagi
feel like
still.
Nagi has a bigger connection and then
Mm.
second na yung twins.
I
I
see.
feel like I guess parang Nagi has a more direct connection with
Mm-mm.
Zero,
Mm.
and the twins are just like somewhat affected by something about Zero.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Parang ganun.
I see, I see.
But like by
Okay.
extension. Ganun.
Tourist spots.
So to interrupt our IDOLiSH7 episode, I'm talking about IDOLiSH7 again.
Magsasawa
So
kayo sa IDOLiSH7.
this is my agenda to have a global release of the game.
Sunod-sunod to, guys. Be prepared. Puro si Brito.
Mm. So, all of our segments will be tourist spots, and this is just me recommending various songs from IDOLiSH7 that you might not have heard before because they're not in the anime. So, I specifically chose songs that are not in the anime. They're mostly in the game, or they're mostly side songs from like the albums that they released. So, since we are talking about Trigger and IDOLiSH7 in this episode, we're talking about two songs from them. So, the first one is from Trigger, my favorite group, and it's called Suicide. And it's a bit of a spoiler, so my apologies. But Suicide is a song from the game. It's released within the game, and you will get it if you clear part 5 or part 5 chapter 10.3. And so I can't say much about the song itself because it is a spoiler, but Suisai is watercolor in English, and I think you could understand like the song from that title itself. It's a really good song. It's very, for me, it sounds like a movie soundtrack. I'm not sure with other people, but that's what I
Does.
really like about it. Right? It does, right? And it's they first performed this in the 7th anniversary live that they had. So they have like the actual characters perform it on stage, so it's AI, the virtual idol thing. And so they performed it. I actually really like the choreography for this as well. So the choreography plus the song, it was really good. The vocals as well, and like the costume, I really like the costume here. And basically, yeah, yun lang yung masasabi ko dun. Kasi I can't really say much about the song itself. Again, it's a spoiler. But you could listen to it even if you don't know the context behind it, I think. Me thinks. And just don't search what the song is about. You could search the lyrics itself. Without context, the lyrics doesn't really say much about it, but yeah, it's really good. It shows like the different color of Trigger because in the anime, since we are talking about the anime, the first season, mostly hear a lot of their like smexy songs.
More seductive songs.
Yeah, seductive songs. So this is Suicide is more of their like what should how should I call it? Like more of their softer side. And uh I was about to say something. Sorry.
Tigilan natin 'to. Baka may
Okay,
masabi ka
tigil
pa.
ko na. So anyways, listen to Suicide. It's really good. It's on Spotify for everybody's knowledge. I think they also uploaded it on YouTube. I'm not sure. But YouTube kasi it's more of region locked. So just go to Spotify. It's easier. And that's it. Thank you. Listen to more. recommendations along the line. Bye-bye. May gusto akong word na sabihin regarding suicide, but like,
Tourist spots.
since we are talking about the twins, what about 10?
Una ka na, Lila.
I'm interested then. I feel like same level yung interest ko with like his backstory as with Sogo.
Mm.
I feel like same intensity siya for me na parang give me more. And like why like I remember when while we were watching I was like, "Oh, bati na sila." And then you were like, "Are they though?" You little shit.
10% bati pa lang.
Of course, I need to sprinkle in some tension.
Fuck you, man. But yeah, like there is more to it, and I mean it's also evident. Even if you don't hint that, it's evident that there's more. Because again, he hasn't said shit. He keeps saying, "Oh, if you win, I'm gonna tell you whatever." Blah blah blah. Like, where is it? Where is the
He
information? Why
was
are you still
going
holding it
to.
back?
He was going to, but Rico was like, no, no, okay, I'm okay. We're
Yeah, that
rivals.
then. That then. Kaya ako mas interesado kay Ten kaysa kay Rico. Joke lang.
I think, ang ano kasi dun is, medyo nainis din ako nun kasi parang gusto ko na rin naman malaman. Pero,
Yeah.
ang, in like, Riku's point of view kasi, the only reason why he even started in the idol industry is because of his brother.
Mm-hmm.
And his brother, I actually noted that down. Then is starting to show how his work ethics started and how his professionalism started. Then he first performed for Riku. Tapos, dun yan parang na-realize yung feeling na he just wants to make people happy. And then that started his work ethics and professionalism. I'm not saying that that's the reason why he is the way he is now. There is another reason, which is a spoiler, which is I'm not gonna say, but that's how it started. And
Mm.
then because of that, he's very strict when it comes to his work ethics, right? And since Riku, his only motivation is to find his brother and to understand why his brother left him, he then in return doesn't feel the passion and the motivation strong enough from Riku. And that's why he's telling Riku that he wouldn't survive in the idol industry. Because that's
Mhm.
your only motivation. If that's your only motivation, what are you doing here? Why are you an idol? Because idols aren't like that. In Ten's eyes, idols are there to make people happy and to have parang to let people, their fans, continue on in this dream. But if Riku is just like focusing on his brother, not the fans, then he's not doing his job.
What's the point? Yeah.
Yeah. And so when Riku was like, it's okay, you don't have to tell me. That's his first step of saying na, I'm here because I want to be an idol. I'm not here just for you. Parang ganon. So I understand that point.
Yeah,
It's still
I get it
frustrating.
too. I get it too. Nakuha ko rin yan when we saw that
Yeah.
scene. It's
Mm.
still annoying.
Yeah, it's just frustrating because you, as a viewer, you do want to know
Yeah.
what happens, what's the
Yeah.
reason and stuff like that.
Which is the reason why I'm closely, yung reason bakit I'm seeing it in Riku's eyes. Kasi curious ako, bakit nga ba naging idol si Ten? Bakit?
Bakit
Bakit
niya
siya umalis?
iniwan? Tsaka di ba,
Yeah.
tama ba yung memory ko na someone recruited him and
Yeah.
he just left and stuff.
Yes.
I
Yes.
remember that. May flashback na ganun. Nalala ko yun eh.
Ten is actually also my Oshi. So I'm a Sogo and Ten Oshi for
Mhm.
everybody's information. So I really love Ten. And it's not because of the Seiyu, but like I actually really just love Ten. Um but I'm going to like dive deeper into Ten's character in future episodes when when we find out his more about his past. But what I like about Ten is that he's actually very selfless. He sounds very strict. He sounds very what do you call it? Parang medyo nakakatakot siya. And
Mhm.
yun yung ano sa kanya, 'di ba? He's a modern day angel. So like in front of the cameras, everybody knows him as like this angel. And then behind the cameras, he's like this devil character. She's really fun. Another gambo. You see my type now. Pero it's actually like a lot of the times people would say, and you will see more of this in especially in season 2. Medyo maiinis kayo kay Ten in season 2. I'm gonna say
Mhm.
this now. Medyo nainis din ako kay Ten no season 2. Pero even though he is being like that, he's very strict. He's always like scolding all the other idols, and he's like saying all these harsh words. You can see how selfless he is and how he actually cares about the people around him, especially Riku and Trigger. Ten is actually a bigger brocon, to be honest. Yeah, he is very he I can't say
Oh,
much, but he's a very
uh,
big.
he's a tsundere type.
Turiku?
Yeah.
Really?
I can
Yeah.
see it though. I
What?
can definitely see it.
He's it's okay. It's a bit of a spoiler, but it's fine. He is the first he is the ano kasi, parang he's the person closest to Riku. And
Mhm.
he's also the reason why Riku is sheltered.
Yeah, you can tell from their flashbacks.
Yeah,
Ah.
kaya Riku is the way he is. He's very happy. He's a bit naive and stuff,
Naive, yeah.
but it's all because of Ten. And that's all I can say about that.
That's very surprising to me,
Yeah, but
actually.
you can see a lot of about that like in future episodes, as I mentioned. But I
Huh.
that's what I love about Ten. And a lot of the times, like, people are shoving it na tennis kanto, ganyan, ganyan. Pero you have to look deeper the reason why he's
Mm.
doing all of these stuff. And honestly, I'm going to say this now, Ten reminds me of Sakura so much.
Sakura.
Sakura Le Seraphim?
Yes.
Mm.
Their
Ah.
work ethics, their professionalism, the way that they just and I mean, all of the idols obviously love being an idol. Pero like there's just something about those two na very similar yung vibes nila, to be honest.
They're very
Um
professional.
they're very professional, and they parang in terms of being an idol specifically, like you can feel that they really love that job, and like they've embodied being an idol.
Mhm.
And I mean, obviously idols are humans. I'm gonna be putting a disclaimer out. Idols are humans. We shouldn't like use them for our own good and stuff. Like we have to remember that they are humans, but like in a way, idols are there so we can escape our reality. So like they're
Mm-hmm.
creating like this environment for us, like a very safe environment for us where it's like full of warmth, and just they're performing for you, you're both happy, and you're as a fan, you're happy for your idol, you're as an idol, you're happy with your fans. Parang ganon. And you can see that with Sakura and Ten specifically, like how they very much embodied that being an idol thing. And going piggybacking on that, that's also the reason why I really love IDOLiSH7 as well, to be honest. And this is a very deep it's a bit of a deep conversation, but like to be honest, the IDOLiSH7, as I've mentioned before we recorded, I feel very strongly towards Ainana as a whole, even though they're virtual idols technically.
Mm.
But I feel my feelings for them are the same as my feelings for the idols, like actual real human beings.
Mm.
I know I'm feeling shit, or I'm into deep if I'm rewatching a lot of Idolish 7 stuff. If I'm rewatching like their live performances, when I'm listening to their songs on repeat, like on repeat, that means I'm in a very bad space, and I'm escaping towards them. That's also why I'm very protective towards this franchise, and also why I'm very scared on doing this discussion. And also why I kind of wanted to gatekeep Idol 7. Which is ironic because I always like share a lot of my I push my interest towards people, like,
Yeah,
oh,
you're a gate pusher.
yeah, I'm a very big recommender, but
Yeah.
like with IDOLiSH7, I just want to protect it in, like, in this little blanket where nobody would harm them. To be honest, they're very, they just give me a lot of comfort,
Mm.
and you can see how much love the cast and the crew has for IDOLiSH7 as well, and that's also, it also gives out that comfort that I'm talking about. Like, you know, you can see how passionate the seiyus are, the writers, the creators,
Mm.
even the animation studio, like the way that they created the anime to create the storytelling of the anime, or like the storytelling of the game. You can see how much effort um they did for all of
Mm.
the, for like the franchise in general. And I think that's also why the fans, me included, feel that comfort. And I think that's what Ten wants as well. Probably be like the same person. I'm just saying.
Nung na-mention mo si Sakura, biglang nag-play sa utak ko yung Yume de Kiss Me. Dami!
So yeah, Ten Kura, same person. Let's move on.
Yume de
um,
Kiss Me.
Gaku.
Gaku is the leader, right?
Yes.
The
And
delivery boy
yeah,
idol.
The Soba man.
yun lang yung masasabi ko sa kanya. Gusto ko matry yung soba ng family nila. Yeah. He has a lot
On,
of anger towards his dad, but
he
Yeah.
also has
understandable anger.
daddy issues.
Yeah.
Honestly, all these idols have some sort of daddy issues. Not all, but like most of them have some sort of
Holy
daddy
shit.
issues.
Relative
Aren't,
issue.
don't we all?
We can relate. Honestly, what I can say about Gaku is that I really love how he's the first one outside the company that became I7's fan. He's a
Mm.
subtle fan. And I like how he uses his power to create opportunities for Ainana,
Mm.
even without taking credit for it.
Not to like make it sound like a fucking war or something, but I feel like
Yeah.
Gako is gonna be like leading some kind of resistance against his dad.
He already
Mm.
is.
No, I know, but like as in like in a bigger way, as in alam mo yon.
I
So
see.
yeah, I just feel like yeah, he's gonna be leading some kind of resistance. Like, I feel like it's just like that trope of like father son
Mm.
type of thing.
Mm.
Mm.
Na and I'm not saying na Gaku is gonna have his own company, but like the vibe kumbaga. Basta something will happen and
Mm.
then like and Gaku is gonna be the one leading to the the downfall of his father or
Gaku
something.
for president.
Yes.
It's funny because you guys were thinking about him like a president. I was thinking of him like, I feel like him and Sumugi as parents of Ainana, just protecting the kiddos.
That's true actually. That's also
Which is really
possible.
funny
Yeah.
because she's like in the middle ground of the age. Mas matanda pa sa
Mm.
kanya sila Yamato actually.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So it's just funny to
ang
think
ang
about.
ang nai-imagine ko na lang is if Gaku becomes president of the company, tapos naging sila ni Mugi. IDOLiSH7 will have a lot of soba bento.
Oh yeah. That's true.
Yun yung nasa isip ko lang.
Yun na pala
That's very
reason.
true.
Yeah.
Yung pala yung
Gaku
purpose ng
for
ship
president.
nila. Free
Soba bento
sobas
for
every day.
everyone.
How about Ryu?
I
Ryu
feel bad for
is the
him.
sexy guy but also shy, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel bad for him. He's
Why?
always in the middle of everything. Tapos he's being
Yeah.
forced to do something he's not comfortable with.
Yeah, I feel like if he is like a real idol, he's gonna be
Mm.
that idol who's everyone's like he's being mistreated, like he's being sexualized without his consent, blah 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 blah. I feel like he's gonna have that kind of
He
fan
reminds me of
base.
Wonho. Being sexualized like that.
Actually, yeah, but also like he's a fucking softie. a
Yeah.
himbo, if you will.
Yeah.
A resident himbo.
He's
Yeah.
very precious.
Yeah.
It's actually really nice to see the dynamics of Trigger. It's not as shown, but like you can see the dynamics. Like Gaku's the leader. He stands up for the group against their president and all of that. And but Ryu is the oldest, and he's like the onisan of the two when they're
Mm.
fighting.
Alam mo yung song ni Eminem, yung Daddy's Gonna Buy You a Mockingbird?
Yeah.
Yung
Oh my
first part
god.
nun is Ryu, tas yung second part nun is
Si
Gaku.
Gaku. So si Tenma yung ano, yung kinakantahan nila. Oh my god! Alam mo, speaking of, this is a spoiler, but you will see that dynamic in like a future episode. Yung dynamic na yun, as in yung specific na dynamic na yun, yung Eminem Mockingbird thing ni Ryu pati ni Gaku.
Can somebody make an edit of that? Please send it to us.
Tag us on Twitter.
Sidetracked edits. Hashtag sidetracked edits.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, actually, like at some point, that would be a nice thing, you know?
You will see it though.
There
Okay.
will be. I feel like if I open my Instagram or YouTube reel, I'm going to see it because
There
our
isn't
phones
as
are spying on
much
us.
No, there isn't as much edits for
IDOLish
Ainana.
7.
I told you they're not as popular worldwide. So if you
Mm.
try to look for like edits, which I have in the past
Kapag
when I
walang
missed them.
nag-edit, kapag walang nag-edit nun, ako mag-edit nun.
Sige, edit mo siya after nung scene na sinasabi ko.
Okay.
Sasabihin ko sa inyo pag nandun na tayo sa scene na yun. Ito yung edit mo. Anything else? Do you have something to say about Trigger as a group?
This is more of a theory. Ito yung
Mm.
sinasabi ko kanina before we recorded na it's for a future season. Remember how Trigger as a whole and then the company, they the producer plagiarized the song. He stole the song
Mm-hmm.
of
Yeah.
IDOLiSH7. I feel like yung president in the future season, another president would use that against Trigger. That's my theory.
Mm.
Because it's a big thing.
Oh.
And plagiarism
Yeah.
is a heavy, heavy accusation.
And like they didn't even address it, right? Because like they all just collectively agreed that Trigger could
Yeah,
own the song and stuff. Like they never
yeah.
addressed it publicly. Yeah.
That's why I'm
Yeah.
scared.
I have a theory then about Trigger.
Yeah.
I just pulled this out of my ass actually, but like a theory is a theory. It could be something that turns out to be canon. It could also be not.
Yeah.
But diba I asked you earlier if by season one Trigger still hasn't like really fully settled into the group because
Mm.
they're still like ready to leave the group or like have the group disbanded and stuff. Like they're just
Yeah.
ready to give up the group just to go against the president.
Yeah.
My theory is at some point in the future seasons or something, that Trigger are gonna be fully settled into the group. They are very comfortable into the group, and they now enjoy being in the group. And then that's when an actual disbandment threat will happen.
Yeah.
Mm.
Trigger's just
You
gonna keep hurting us.
you
Yeah.
guys keep on making theories that's like sad for Trigger.
Kasi yun yung vibe na lumalabas eh. Like, they don't have the most supportive company. They have a very hostile kind of na company.
Mm,
Compare that to Idolish Seven's company, where everything is welcome.
mm,
I mean, apart from bullshit, obviously, like the president is not gonna stand for bullshit. Like, if you guys don't, like, if they don't keep it, like, if they, pet, slow down. If they don't take things seriously, the president will take matters in his own hands.
mm.
Pero with Trigger kasi, the president isn't the most welcoming.
Yeah, he's very
Mm.
controlling.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I feel like, yeah, like there will come a point. I don't know why. I haven't theorized the reason. Pero there will come a point na the moment na they're finally like enjoying being in the group, that's when they're gonna be hit with a disbandment. Kind of like with IDOLiSH7. Though with IDOLiSH7 kasi diba, parang they're not really settled in yet. Obviously,
Mm.
kasi kaka-ano lang nila, kaka-debut lang nila. But they are enjoying what they're doing. And they don't really have like the most hostile environments, but they kept fighting and they're not communicating. So the president
Mm.
threatened them with a disbandment. But here it's more malicious for Trigger, I feel.
Yeah.
It's not to teach them a lesson, it's more malicious in a sense.
It's a selfish reason.
Yeah. Because with I7, it's more to teach them a lesson. Pero with Trigger, I feel like it's gonna be just purely malicious.
I see.
That's
That's
my
all I can
theory.
say. I see. Stop hurting Trigger. Trigger's my favorite group.
That's how I see it. That it's a theory. Sabi nga
I
ni
will.
Matt Pat, and that's just a theory, a film theory.
Exactly.
I want to piggyback on like your company thing. This isn't really a big thing. It's just like my own perspective. But honestly, with Ainana's company, I feel like since they're a small company, they tend to experiment a lot, and it
Mm.
gave Ainana too much problems and stuff. And it did give them experience, like they were able to parang yung dun sa sound ship, parang they were able to accept the job of singing instead of Trigger,
Mm.
that scene. And then Tsumugi was like, my boys were they're strong, like
Mm.
this is nothing to them getting game. Parang yeah, it did give them experience, and it was they were able to become stronger because of those experiences. But I feel like it's just sad that they had to go through all of that. It's because of the inexperience of the company.
Mm.
Like from the very first parang especially with Tsumugi, she's just like a newbie, and she's also pretty young. I feel like she's probably around 19, 20 years old maybe.
Mm.
Cuz she's not allowed to drink yet, and 20 years old is like 20 is the drinking limit of in Japan. But she's also not a minor because she's not in high school anymore. So
Yeah.
she's probably in that age range. So she's still pretty young, and the company is also pretty small. And I think from what I'm remembering, Ainana's their first group to debut. So they're still very much inexperienced in terms of that, and it gave them a lot of problems. And honestly, with the president specifically, I feel like they could have avoided all the drama if he just told his like daughter or like the manager about the things that she needs to know, rather
Mm.
than letting it be like letting it happen to teach her those life lessons. And Ainana as well to teach those life lessons.
Mm.
Again, it's nice that they were able to become stronger with that, and in like in future episodes as well, you can see the strength that they're building over time. Pero I don't know, it's just a bit sad to see na since they are a small company, they keep on like experiencing all those like hardships.
Mm.
Yun lang naman yung masasabi ko sa company nila and president specifically. I'd still prefer Tsunashi Tsunahashi, right? Tsunahashi
The who?
than Yamamoto. So that's that. They
Mm.
also have like this complicated relationship with their lover.
Wait, sorry, who are you talking about? I'm like, who?
The presidents.
The presidents. Tsunahashi is Ainana's president, and Yamamoto is Trigger's president.
And you prefer I7 president
Yes,
than Trigger president? Yes.
of
Okay.
course.
Okay.
I
Okay.
I
Okay.
noticed something.
Mm,
Yung group names
yeah.
ng idols, it directly like mirrors yung philosophy ng president. With IDOLiSH7, it's focused on making people happy. So the idols, the rainbow. Um,
Mhm.
Tapos trigger is like very controlling. It's like having a gun and pulling a trigger. So trigger, it's very controlling.
They're
Mm.
Yun yung
being held at
na-notice ko.
gunpoint.
Yeah, holding you at gunpoint. Ganon. Yun yung
Oh,
na-notice ko.
Interesting.
yeah, that is true actually. So, since we're talking about the presidents, just like the other characters, do you have any like comments regarding the managers, the presidents? We have talked about the presidents, but like additional information or like Banri-san. I love
I
Banri-san.
don't like Trigger's manager right now.
Mm.
Anisagi?
She's
I
very
don't
annoying.
I don't like her in season 1 as well.
Yeah. She's very annoying. She's too parang hindi siya nag-iisip, alam mo yun? Parang siyang
Company
She's
puppet.
focus
ano,
kasi siya.
yeah, she's very much like a puppet. That's true.
Yeah. She acts like a puppet. And that's really annoying.
Though I
Like,
do
alam mo
get
yung
where she's
nagmamakaawa na sila Gako.
mm,
Nagmamakaawa na yung idols nila. Kahit na alam niya sa sarili niya na, alam mo yun, like, the most reasonable thing to do is to just listen to the idols. She doesn't care.
mm.
Because what the president says goes. And I
Though I do get
feel
where
that,
she's coming from though.
yeah.
Cause
It's her view, it's her way of protecting them. Because that's how they see it. They're protecting the
yeah,
guys, so
and
they're like denying them. I get it. But they don't even hear them out. That's the problem.
the thing is though, when you're a salary person, you just go with what the
That's true.
president wants. We
Yeah,
all
yeah,
have to
yeah.
live. So I
That's
get
very
where she's
true. That's
coming
very.
from.
Honestly though, I was actually surprised with Anisagi because as I've mentioned, I watch the anime when it comes out, like the season. So I actually liked her character. I think starting ng season 2 or season 3. I don't remember. Basta like I liked her character. And then I rewatched season 1 before we started watching it together. I rewatched season 1. Then I was like, "Oh my god, I forgot how annoying she is in this season." And then I stopped watching midway ng season 1 so we can watch it together. And it was like, "Oh man, I feel like you guys wouldn't like her in season 1."
Yeah,
I
I
was
don't
right.
like her right now. I don't like her right now. She's very annoying.
Yeah. But like in Vibrato, she's gotten better in Vibrato, I think, than season 1. You can see how she cares for Trigger in Vibrato. But it's still not I still don't like her, but like she's better in Vibrato than season 1. Not saying that she is better in Vibrato, but like you know what I mean?
She's more
Compare
There's
it.
tolerable.
some
Yeah, she's
development
more
there.
tolerable there. That's the word. I was thinking of that. I was like, what's the word? Yeah, it's she's more tolerable in vibrato. How about the others? Do you have anything to say about the other man? How about Tsumugi? Tsumugi technically Tsumugi in the game is the player. So she
Of
only has
course.
this personality in the anime.
Tsumugi is the
Mm,
manager, right?
Yes, of Ainana.
Yes. Okay.
I don't have much opinion on her.
Yeah. She's doing her best.
Yeah, she's a
She
hard
trusts the
worker.
guys. Yeah, she's a hard worker. She trusts the guys. Yeah. And like she wants the best for them in like a humanizing way, which I think is the complete opposite of Trigger's.
Anisagi. Mm,
Yeah, Trigger's manager, where she does care, but I feel like it's very suffocating and dehumanizing
yeah.
Mm.
to Trigger. And with Tumugi, it's like, yeah, you can do what you want, but like I'm keeping my eye on you. Like I
Honestly, though,
support you, but I'm keeping my eye on you.
Tsumugi needs a break. Like
Yeah.
the boys just keep on.
it's
She's
like it's
she's
like
doing her
Trigger
best
needs, yeah,
with
like
what
Trigger
she
needs a
has.
break from their manager, but Tumugi needs a break from her alaga. From her idols. It's that.
Tourist spots.
Hello. So another tourist spots from Brie, and this is again since I've talked about Trigger a while ago, I'm going to talk about IDOLiSH7 now. So IDOLiSH7, this is a song from their Opus album. It's called Everything Is Up to Us. It's one of their like side songs. It's really good. I actually when I first listened to this, I thought that it would be a good song for a uh what do you call that? A sh-
Kaya man.
yung sa dulo ng concert. Encore.
Encore.
There you
Yeah.
go. I thought it would be a really good encore song. I don't think they've done it yet though. I haven't watched their Opus live So they might have done it there. I'm not sure if they did. I didn't look at their set list beforehand because I wanted to be surprised. I bought the fucking DVD, so I want to be surprised. I'm still waiting for it, so I still haven't watched the live. But I think it would be a really good encore song. This Everything Is Up to Us. So it's not it was released with the album, but the song is in the game if you clear part 1 chapter 1.6. So it will show up in the normal lives. Not only does it sound like a movie soundtrack, like the instrumental itself is so magical, like the guitar, the most favorite thing about it is the guitar. Like the guitar. When the guitar starts playing, I just like feel very emotional and I feel very and then during like the bridge part, oh my god. I I swear to god this sounds like an encore. And if you look at the lyrics, so I want you guys to search the lyrics while you're also listening to the song. It's a really good it has really good poetic lyrics. I was actually before we started recording, I was like telling them like the lyrics. It was really good. I didn't expect it to
I was
be
like,
that
why?
good.
Why is this so emo?
Yeah,
Why is
it
it so
is.
emo?
Like it's like I didn't expect it to be that poetic,
Yeah.
to be honest. Just to say like some lines from the lyrics, it's weaving through the endless night, we are still deep in slumber. Surely the radiance falling on your cheek is a dream come true I didn't know I wanted. This is translated lyrics from the wiki,
My
so thank
gosh.
you very much. But it's really good. So again, it sounds like a movie soundtrack, but it's more of like an encore, I think. I
Mhm.
really hope that one day I'll be listening to them singing it as an encore song. I doubt that they will because it's not really that well known. A lot, parang out of all of their songs in their different albums, obviously they're gonna choose an encore song that's like well known, or like usually they chose what's that song? Uh, yeah, I forgot the title of the song. It's in the back of my head, but they usually choose that song for an encore song. But anyways, I'm blabbing now. I want you guys to listen to it again. It's on Spotify, so it's not that hard to search. Everything is up to us. It's an English title. It's easy to search, so search it on Spotify. Thank you. And 5 minutes later, Brie discovered that Everything Is Up to Us is in the Opus Live, and she does have the DVD, so she almost cried. Happy endings for everybody. Thank you.
Tourist spots.
Okay, so since you guys don't have any like other things to say about the character, I want to know who is your Oshi, your favorite group so far, and your ship. I have to add the ship.
Does it have to be like Oshi and I7 and Trigger?
Well, that's the only idols that we have so far.
No, like
So,
does it have to be like one of each, or can it just be
or
like
no,
one? Okay,
just whoever you prefer so
okay.
far.
See,
Sino mauna?
Kay muna.
Okay. So for IDOLiSH7, right now it's Iori.
Mm.
I'm not gonna explain why. I already said why. um, for Trigger, it's Ryu. I like him most.
Ooh.
Favorite group, I like both of them equally.
Mm.
Alam mo yung apples and oranges. They're
Yeah,
two
because you
different
said that
things.
you might. We talked about this, right?
Yeah.
You might like Rivale more.
Yeah, I might like Rivale more.
Mm.
And ship, I don't really have a ship. Well, Brie and I talked about this as well. I feel like my ship would be Rivale
Which is
because I just like
understandable.
married couples. That's the vibe I like with
They're
ships.
a very big married couple. And it's not just even because that's their whole persona, like a married couple. But it's not they don't act that way just in front of the cameras. They also do it
Off
even
cam.
when they're alone. Yeah. How about Lila?
Right now, the only Oshi that I have is Gaku.
Oh wow, I
Mm,
didn't expect
me
that.
too.
Yeah, I like Gaku. I like his. At first, I'm like very wary of him because I mean the way he's introduced, right? He's like very fishy, but like as the season, but as the season develop and like you really see how much he just genuinely cares about Trigger and like how he cares about Ainana, how he cares about the twins, and like
Mm,
10 being at the child that he is, like how just how much he cares as a person, like he's willing to give up himself
Mm.
just to
mm,
like help his group. He's willing to sabotage himself just so Ainana gets like a fair or like yeah, like a fair chance at the industry. I really like him. And then knowing that he's like a mama's boy and like he's like very humble and down to earth, the way I see it right now, like his characterization right now,
Yeah.
I'm liking Gahu. I feel nice when I see him on screen. That's how I know.
Oh,
I
I
feel
see.
very nice when I see him on screen. I don't
Wait,
know.
I cannot wait for you to watch
Oh
the most
no!
iconic Gaku scene. I
Should
think
I be scared? Should I?
the listeners who have watched or played the game would know the most iconic Gaku
What
scene.
is it?
It's in season 2, so don't worry. We will be
Should
able
I
to
be
watch it
scared?
sooner.
Should I be scared?
Be just anticipate it.
Oh my god, I'm
I feel
scared.
like when the episode happens, when the scene happens, you will know what I'm talking about.
yeah.
Like you will be like,
Okay.
"Oh
It
my god, is this it?" I feel like you're going to.
same vibes as the
I
potato chip
wanna know
in
why
Death
though.
Note.
Why? I sorry. What?
The same vibes with the potato chip in Death Note.
Oh no!
It's that iconic.
Yes, you. It's an iconic Gaku scene. Oh, I can't
Oh
wait for
no.
you
Okay.
to watch
I
it.
think I think I know the vibe now. Pero I am curious why it's surprising for you guys.
I don't know. I didn't expect you to like Gaku because you weren't talking about Gaku at
Yeah,
all.
and
Oh
you're
really?
not the type to like morally gray characters, and he was like portrayed morally gray for the
I
most
feel
part.
like watching all this shit weekly for the past 2 years has changed me as a person.
Oh.
I have been influenced.
Am I
Oh,
influencing you? Is that what's happening?
No, really. Like, I mean, my bias is Yoongi. I like the quiet type of caring. I think
Mm,
that's what I got from him.
mm,
That's why I
me,
really like Gako really got my attention. Because even with like manager Tsumugi, like even with her, like he's also like very gentle and like caring with her. Like this is why Yoongi's my bias. Just you should know my type, guys. I like those quiet, caring types. And that's how I perceived Gaho. Now,
mm,
do sa season 2 thing na sinasabi nyo, I think I'm scared, but I am prepared, maybe.
oh, I can't wait.
But yeah, I like Gaho. It's surprising to me that you guys found it surprising, but now I get it because I don't really talk about him. But yeah, I like him. I like him a lot. Because right now with Ainana, I apart from Yori, I haven't seen any responsible member that's kind of like on the level of like caring as Gaku, where he's like
Mm.
he just like wants the best and like he actually does something for the best of everyone, even though he's like impulsive as fuck. So far, Ainana seems very selfish, and again, I trust that that's gonna develop into a better dynamic in the future. But right
mm.
now, you do like ako. So yeah, and like
Honest,
I can't bias Yori. He's a minor. I'm not gonna
honestly though,
bias
I
him.
think the reason why they all seem very selfish right now is because they are because they
Yeah,
all
have
started being an
ulterior
idol
motives.
because of yeah.
Yeah, you have ulterior motives. Apart from what's his Mitsuki?
Mitsuki.
Yeah, apart
Mitsuki.
from him, yeah.
And
But yeah,
technically Yori's just there for his brother.
yeah, that's
Doesn't
true.
he?
But like I can't bias Yori because he's a minor, right? Like
Yeah, but
I am uncomfortable. I am
You know,
uncomfortable.
technically speaking, it's been It's been how many years? Ay Nana, kailan ba? Like 7 years ang Ay Nana last year? 2022? I think.
So technically, they're
Yeah.
older than us.
Yeah.
Oh really? But still, like even right now, like for example with Jungkook, right? I'm literally the same age as Jungkook. We are
Yeah.
born in the same year, okay? But I can't say no. Whenever I see their 2013 videos, I can't say na I bias Jungkook because it makes me feel uncomfortable. Especially now, like in my brain, I am 25 years old. I cannot possibly be standing a minor. I
Mm.
feel uncomfortable with that, and that applies to a lot of things. And I think a lot of our listeners are gonna understand what I'm saying, especially with like recent developments. But anyway, we're not talking about that. Um,
Favorite group so far.
Trigger right now.
Yes, join me in my
Yeah,
trigger world.
yeah. I like
Ship.
Trigger right now. Ship. I can't think of one.
Oh, it's
I
fine.
I haven't. Yeah, no, I haven't like seen any nice. I mean, Gako and Tsumugi is kind of cute, but like, you know, that's it. I don't really feel strongly about it.
I mean, ships aren't really that important. I just wanted to
I
see
know,
who
I
yours.
know, I know, but like, yeah, I don't see any particular ship that I'm interested in right now. Again,
Mm.
just to acknowledge it, Gako and Tsumugi is kind of cute, but like, that's it. Like, again,
Mm.
I don't feel strongly about it. And yeah, I feel
For
like, sorry, for now, the reason Trigger is like my favorite so far out of the two na I know. I mean, let's be real here. I've seen the concert. I like Distortion guy, okay? I feel like once they come out, I'm really gonna keep my eyes on Distortion guy.
for
But
everybody's opinion information, distortion guy is Kimusuba.
yes.
So she's talking about Zool. Keep that in mind. She's talking about Zool.
No, I know they're like antagonists or something, but I just like his singing voice. Okay, I appreciate his singing voice. I am a vocal. I like vocals. I like vocalists
Mm.
and stuff. And when I heard him sa concert, I'm like, whoa, I like this guy. I like what he did with his voice. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, I feel like the reason I like Trigger right now is because it's manageable. Because there's just three of them.
For everybody's information as well, I made them watch the live performance, both they
Yes.
first live and second live before we watch the anime.
You made us watch this like in either late 2021 or like early 2020. No, we're still
we
students.
No, no, no.
We're
We
still
we
Oh,
students.
I made
You showed
I made
me.
Lila watch the first live when we were in college.
mm,
Yeah, that's why.
But
That's why I like. I'm really, I'm really mentally attached with Brasso guy.
also for everybody's information, Brasso guy is Sato Takuya-san, which is Ryu. She calls her Brasso guy because Sato Taku is kind of naked in the, you know what, they actually pointed that out in day 2. Side note lang, in day 2 they were like telling the audience, like they were reading Twitter tweets from day 1, and then
Yeah.
everybody was like saying no, no, guys beware, the entire first half Sato Takuya is just part practically naked, and he was like, I'm wearing clothes. Everyone is laughing. He's like, he's practically naked.
My eyes just zeroed in on his arm. Like that is an arm. Those are arms. So I've nicknamed the guy Brasso guy.
That's how she remembers him, as Brasso guy.
Yes. So
She
there's the
remembers
highlighter
Onoken as
guy.
smiley guy, Egu as
Yes.
highlighter guy. Yeah.
That's and like that like disproportionately tall guy. Like Egu. He was like positioned beside a really, really tiny guy. So it's just highlighted
Not
even
just a guy, like all of them are very tiny compared to Egu. So
I remember when we were watching that, I was dying because I was laughing way too much
and
seeing.
it's and Egu has like this very blonde hair as well, so you can really see
It's not
him.
he
even
looks like a
blonde; it's
giraffe.
fucking highlight.
Yeah, he is a giraffe. I call him a giraffe as well. We love
Yeah,
Egu in this household, by the
if
way.
his hair is not even blonde, it's like straight up yellow highlighter.
You should have seen his green.
Oh no.
The grass hair.
The grass hair. He, he looks like Joker.
But yeah, I knew about I7 because Bree showed it to me. No
Yeah.
students pa kami. That was a long time ago. I just remember nung pinanood mo ulit sa amin yung concert. I was like, is Brasso guy here? He's
He
the
isn't
only person
Brasso
I
guy
remember.
anymore in the second life.
Okay.
They
I
gave
just
him more
remember
clothes in the
him.
second life.
Like he's he's partly amusing to me, but at the same time he partly makes me uncomfortable because of the way he performs.
I love Sato Takura. He's the best, and
He was fun to watch. That's
he's
all
the
I can
best in those
say.
types of performances. That's all I have to say. Going back just to make it quick. Personally, I'm a Sogo 10 Oshi. My favorite group is Trigger. My favorite songs are from Trigger and Zool, and my ships are Tsumugi Gaku, as mentioned multiple times. I really love them so much, and Rivale. So I technically have one of each group.
I mean, you've been watching this show for a long time now.
And I've been playing the game as well. So
Yeah.
I've already established my favorites. Theories for the next seasons.
Na-mention ko na 'to kanina, but yun nga na I feel like since na-mention na yung Zool, hindi ko siya minention kanina, yung I feel like Zool's company or the president is gonna use the plagiarism thing against Trigger. Tapos, ayun. I
President.
just I just hope that they really don't use it. And also, the overarching story of Zero. I feel like the president of IDOLiSH7 is Zero, especially when Nagi said that Haruki, the composer, he mentioned that Zero is someone that cares for the people and the songs, and the president is the same way, which I made that connection. Like my brain clicked at that, but I know that some people are like, that's impossible.
It's a
We
big
still,
theory in the
yeah.
fandom, but there are some plot holes.
Tapos eto pa, kanina ko lang 'to na-realize when we were talking about Nagi. I feel like if the president is not Zero, I feel like Nagi is blood related to Zero.
Oh. So
Mm.
is
Because
he
like,
royalty or a blood relatives of
yeah,
Zero?
he's a royalty or blood relative of Zero. Because
Mm,
why else would Haruki go to that country? Out, ano nga yung country ni Nagi?
North Mare.
Yeah. So why else would Haruki go there, right? If Zero is not from there.
Mm, I see.
Interesting.
So
Very
yeah.
That's
interesting.
all I can say. I see. With the viewers, listeners, it's I hear. How about Lila?
I have no significant theories for now. Again, I am not a theorist person. I am
Uh,
stupid. I
uh,
have one brain cell and it barely works every single day.
I see. Well, you guys did have a lot of theories sprinkled in with the characters. So, that being said, that was our discussion of IDOLiSH7. The next episodes will be second season and third season, so you wouldn't really have to wait that long. But in our world, we'll be watching it, so it's gonna
Yeah,
take
it's
a
gonna take a
longer
while.
time. But since we have three seasons, what we'll be doing for the ratings is we will be rating the show per season, and then by season three we will be averaging our scores from season 1 to season 3, and that's the only time we'll be averaging our scores as sidetrack.
Mm.
So average scores personal first before averaging it with sidetracks first. So for this episode we don't have an average rating first, since this is the first season, and
We don't have an
simula pa lang.
overall rating. We
Yes,
don't
we
have an
don't have an
overall
overall
rating.
rating.
Yeah.
That being said,
Okay, so for the plot, I gave it 27% out of 30%. I really like it considering na it came from a game. And our experience with animes that
Yes.
came from
Oh my
games,
god,
it's not that
yes.
good. It's a really good anime adaptation of a game. It doesn't feel forced. It's not all over the place. Each character's story was given enough time, but there's still this. Hindi sila nag-divert too much with the main plot. It really flowed nicely, the whole story. That's why I gave it 27%. Execution, I gave it 28% out of 30. Merong scene na sobrang tumatak sa akin. And it's Tamaki's scene when he spiraled, when he saw his dad. Um,
Mm,
yung
that
ano,
was a good
the show.
scene.
yeah, it was a
Yeah.
really good scene.
Yeah.
So, naramdaman ko yung constricting ng chest while I
Yeah.
was watching that.
Yeah.
Tapos, yun nga, diba, season 1 is just planting the seed for the future season. And I think they did really well. That's why I gave it a high score. They also highlighted a lot of very serious issues with the idol industry and the politics. That's why I really like it. Animation, I gave it 15% out of 20. There were times now they were using the same frame. And
Yeah.
I noticed that. Kagaya nung, ito ni-note ko 'to, 10 explaining to fans that being busy as well as he needs to deliver a good performance. Um, it threw me off, that scene, because what's happening? And then when they're performing, nag-iiba yung movement, which really threw me off.
I
But I
told
get
you
it.
this before, but like everybody, every group will get their dance animation.
I get it though. The animation studio is not that big, so the budget is also not big. And then acting, I gave it 12 out of 15. They're really good. Well, I have nothing to say about it. Siguro may hinahanap lang ako
Mm,
na hindi ko ma-point out.
yeah.
And soundtrack, I gave it a perfect score, which is 5% out of 5%. Tapos, nasa isip ko pa din yung Natsushiyos. We've
Natsushiyose.
been recording for like over an hour. And it's still in my head. We watched this a week ago. It's still in my head. um, so my overall score is 87%.
I didn't expect that high score.
It was
To be
actually lower
honest.
earlier. Tas niread ko yung notes ko. And I'm like, oh yeah, there's this scene. So, tinaasan ko pa yung score ko.
For me, actually, habang nag-discuss ni Kay yung ratings niya, mayroon pa akong hinatak. Kasi I was reminded of the Tamaki scene. So, tumaas pa siya lalo. Sabihin ko mamaya yung yung original average niya. Tapos yung
Yeah.
bagong average. Medyo malaki yung hatak niya. Okay, so first of all, for the plot, I gave it a 27% out of 30. Ano ulit yung sinabi ni Kay? Basta nag-agree ako doon. Nakalimutan ko
The
na.
game. The game thing.
Yes, yeah, the game. Yeah, for a game, considering how poor our experiences with Clanad, I still love Clanad. I
Mhm.
adore Clanad. It's just I feel like they failed with translating the story from game to anime, and that
Mhm.
is what IDOLiSH7 did really well. Now, it felt very cohesive. It made sense. The sprinkling of lore for each character was done very well and it was very balanced. They did not overly focus on one character that feels very insignificant. Kasi in Klana, there are a lot of characters there na highlighted a lot. Pero in terms of like the overarching story of the main pairing, they don't really have that much significance, to be
Mm.
honest. So like it's very confusing why they're emphasized. But here it makes sense. It makes sense na. Pero ano mo yun? I am leaving room for it to grow pa. I don't want to give it a perfect score yet. And then for the execution, kanina ano to, 21 out of 30. Ngayon 24 na siya. Hinata ko siya. Kasi, yeah, I was reminded of that scene, the breakdown scene. And I remembered how intense it felt for me. But the reason it's not as high, hindi ko siya na-mention kanina kasi we weren't talking about it. We were talking more about the characters, right? Nakalagay siya dito sa notes ko. Now, just take note, I am very inexperienced with watching anime. So, just take that into consideration on why I have this reason here. I feel like the way they presented like the passage of time, it's very jarring for me because I am very used to animes where in one episode they either focus on one whole day of events or one arc na very like closely related in one episode. While napansin ko dun sa IDOLiSH7, there have been a few moments where I'm like, wait, this is like the next day, this is like 2 days later, 3 days later, kasi it's like one day is like this like 2 minute scene and then all of a sudden it's like a different day. And then that kind of confused me lang on like the progression of the timeline. So yun lang. That's why it's like a little lower. Kasi I feel like I needed it to be more clear on how much time has passed. Kasi I'm not used to that na so many events or like so many arcs are covered in like just one episode. And then sometimes certain arcs or like certain scenes or like very important events are just covered in like 2 minutes, 3 minutes. And then next na agad, move on na agad. Parang nakakabigla lang.
Mm.
So I gave it 24 out of 30. For the animation, na-mention ko to while we are watching, I don't like the CG performances. When I saw, anong scene yun, yung nakita natin na it's like fully animated?
It's the music video of Trigger's debut song, Diamond
Yeah.
Ocean.
Yeah, I like that. It looked nice. It looked cohesive. It looked like it made sense. But the CG, it's very weird. So I gave it a 14 out of 20. I really did not like the CG.
I
I did
did
not
not.
like it. It's
Naalala ko yung
so...
dance button.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about that.
I don't know, like it just reminded like the CG animation of the dance. It just reminded me so much of Sims. And you know how
Y-
bad the dances are in The Sims.
you know, when you said that dance battle thing between Trigger, I remembered this one edit. If I can find it again, I'll send it to you guys. There was one edit that someone did of them dancing to Britney Spears. It was really funny. I'll try looking for it again. I don't know if it's still on YouTube, but it's on YouTube.
Oh my god. Well, yeah, anyway, yeah, I don't like it. Parang isipin mo rin, apart from The Sims, you know those like Genshin edits of the characters dancing?
Yeah.
It reminds me of that as well. Na, alam mo yun, parang it's weird, but it's fun, but it's really weird to watch. So yeah, I did not like that. Otherwise, I have no opinions because again, I have like kind of like somewhat of a benchmark na
Yeah.
with like animations.
Mm.
So it could have been better. It's just that fucking CG. I can't get over it, and I'm not ready to see more of it because I know I'm gonna be seeing more of it.
Oh, you will.
We still have
Oh
more
no!
groups.
Oh no! Okay. Next one is the voice acting. I have no opinions of it. It's okay. Again, I am not that well versed with voice acting and anime in general, so I don't know. I have no criteria right now for myself. So I just gave it like a 13.5 out of 15%. Which is quite high. Like in raw score, that's like 9 out of 10. It's good. And then soundtrack. I mentioned this before pa when you were
Yeah.
when Brie was showing me um the concert. I am not a fan of like techno type of sounds. It's
Mm.
not for me. So I just gave it a 4 out of 5%, which is still pretty high because it's good, it's enjoyable. But
I was expecting you to give it a lower
Natsushiyose.
score.
oh no,
Yeah.
I think it grew on me.
Oh.
It became tolerable, but like that's the best I can give. That's the best description I can give. It's tolerable. Like I would still like right after it, I found myself listening to like my playlist just to like have a palate cleanser or
Yeah.
something. Because again, it's just my brain and my ears and like how
Mm.
they function. It got old really quick, but it did
Mm.
grow on me. Yeah, it's just not my preference. I don't enjoy listening to that type of music. So yeah, for overall, kanina before ako naghatak ulit for the last time, it was 79.5%. It was
Mm.
very low. And then before that, kasi di ba yung original score ko, hinata ko pa siya kanina. Like ano siya, 75 yata, which is very low. That was too low
Mm.
for me. But yeah, now yung final average ko is 82.5%. I am quite satisfied with that.
You know, this is exceeding my expectations. I
Oh
thought you
wow.
guys would like give it like a 70, a line of
No.
7. So that's why I said mine was very high. I was like, when I was doing my rating, I was like,
Yeah.
shit, this is very high. I feel like they'll give it a line of 7, especially for season 1. Because
Mm-hmm.
I know that season 2, season 3, you'd probably give it a higher score. But like season 1 kasi is like yung intro lang kasi talaga siya. So it's not as like impactful as season 2 and season 3. So I was like expecting it. I didn't expect this at all. I was like, whoa.
Balik ko ba yung score ko? Balik ko sa
No, no, no.
75.
Yung
It's
yung
fine with the
unang score ko
82.5.
din is 79, and then I read my notes in passing. I was like, this needs to be higher. So naging 84 siya. Tapos naalala ko yung scene, and then yung ibang notes ko pa tinignan ko. Because I need to pull more scores. That's why naging 87 siya sa akin.
I'm going to say this now. You're higher than mine. It's
Shit.
yeah.
Holy shit.
So for plot, I'm giving it a 24%. As I've mentioned multiple times, it's just the introduction of the concept of IDOLiSH7 as a franchise. So I even though I know what's going to happen, and even though I mentioned this multiple times that there's so many seeds in season 1, I feel like it's not as high for me because it's just like an introduction. For execution, I gave it a 27, and the reason being, this is also because of Troika. I really love the way that they created the anime. I love the small details that they did. I love how they executed every scene. The way that they, as you've mentioned, the way that they used like the storyline from the game to adapt it to anime was really good. I think I mentioned this before. I do play the game, so I have seen like how they do it in the game, and it's still the same story, but obviously the way that they executed it in the anime is very it was very good. I feel like that's why I gave it a higher score. Animation, I gave it a 15 as well. Like K. It's not just the animation because in our rating, technically it's animation slash cinematography. So I put into account the cinematography of the anime. I really love the way that technically they animated it, but like I love the way that they shot every
Quote
scene.
unquote.
Yeah, quote unquote, they shot the scenes. There's more to it in future seasons, but it was really good. It's one of those animes that I could really say like, holy shit. Oh my god, like the satisfaction as well of like seeing all those little details that they do, the way that they use like camera angles for certain scenes. Chef's kiss. But it's not as high. I didn't give it a higher score because of the animation. Season 1 animation isn't really isn't really the best. So I had to like lower down the score because of animation. The voice acting is 13.5. I didn't give it a perfect score because it's it is I've seen their voice acting in the future. So I can say this now, the season 1 voice acting isn't as good as the voice acting in later seasons, especially in the more emotional scenes, which is a lot. there's a lot of emotional scenes. um, and then the soundtrack, I gave it a perfect score. Again, this is my comfort. They are my comfort idols. I have it. I have their soundtracks on repeat. All of the groups, I have it on repeat. When I'm feeling shit, this is the only thing that could like ground me. I could say so. Honestly, that's also what how I realized that I'm feeling shit is when I notice myself listening to Idol 7 on repeat. Or like I have this urge to rewatch their live performances. I'm like, I kind of want to watch it, and then I watch it, and then I listen to the soundtrack again and again. And I'm like, oh, I'm not mentally well right now.
Oh
So,
no.
that's why I gave it a perfect score. It has some bias on it, but it's yeah, it's a perfect score for me. Overall, it's 86. That's why yours is higher. I was so
We're just one
surprised.
percent though.
Yeah, but I was surprised when you said 87. I was like, holy shit! I thought I'll be the highest score here, but I'm not. So those that's our discussion of IDOLiSH7 first beat and vibrato. So we included vibrato as well since it's just OVAs. If you haven't again watched IDOLiSH7, you can only play the game when you're in Japan. If your app store is in Japan, so just watch the anime. And yeah,
Also, just to reiterate, if you wish to know our final scoring, stay tuned. The next seasons are gonna come out after this, so
yeah. Watch. You have to listen to see how their opinions will change and how right or wrong they are in their theories. So
I am already expecting myself to be wrong because again, I barely have a working brain cell, and I am not a theorist.
I can say this now. There are some that are right, there are some that are wrong. And that's for both of
Okay.
you. I'm not specifying
Oh,
who's who.
interesting. And
So
I don't even remember most of my theories. I only remember the trigger one.
so there's some wrong answers, there's some right answers here and there. So
Okay. Okay.
that being said, thank you so much for listening along. Stay tuned to our next episodes for the next seasons. I'm so excited. And yeah,
Side?
Track.
thank you for listening. Let us all build a rainbow to our next harmony.
Yay!
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.